We are taking shots from all sides here, folks. Now I got Joey Peterson of the Packers Report challenging us here at Seahawks Today, saying we can't get 50 subs off today's video. Who does he think he is? That's one of our new channels here at Chat Sports. And Joey's coming after us? The Packers? We've owned the Packers, folks. I said we can easily do that. Stick it to Joey. Joey doesn't know ball. What the hell is he talking about here? I mean, do they even like real cheese? I mean, those Packer fans, they're probably eating that nasty American cheese. We know better cheese than the folks in Green Bay. Subscribe now. Prove Joey wrong. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV, and we'll get started with today's show. Training camp is almost here, and the Seattle Seahawks have plenty of cash on hand, about $28 million to be exact. So is a big move potentially coming for your Seattle Seahawks? Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones, the somewhat capable host, your fearless leader here with you. With training camp about to get started, and Seattle having money, I wanted to take a moment to look at some last-minute free agent targets that Seattle could potentially sign. Since they have money, and they do have a couple of needs here, what we're going to do is we're going to go over three different players at three different positions that Seattle has the money and can't afford to sign right now and bring them in right in time for training camp. So without further ado, let's get started with 32-year-old edge rusher Za'Darius Smith, most recently with the Detroit Lions. And the thing with Za'Darius Smith that I really like is that he has been successful everywhere he has been, folks. And you're going to hear me say this a lot on this program. I believe it wholeheartedly that you cannot have too many pass rushers. That has been something that I have said for a very long time. And I look at Za'Darius Smith. This is somebody that I think you can plug in right away, and he can have an instant impact within this Seattle Seahawks defense almost immediately. And when you look at what Mike Macdonald has done over the years, some of these older pass rushers, like the Jadeveon Clowneys, the Justin Houstons, the Kyle Van Noys of the world, and now we're going to see them try it with DeMarcus Lawrence here, is taking these older pass rushers, putting them in a position to succeed, and finding that fountain of youth. And with Za'Darius Smith, I don't have to go back very far to when he was playing at a high level. Not very far at all. I think you can still get something out of him here in Seattle, not have to break the bank. He's been a journeyman. He's played with the Ravens, Packers, Vikings, Browns, and Lions. A three-time Pro Bowler as recently as 2022. A second-team All-Pro selection in 2020 as well. An impressive resume for what Za'Darius Smith has done in the National Football League. And then you look at his statistics. This is what I'm talking about when I say that you don't have to go very far to find him playing at a high level. Just last season with two different teams, Cleveland and Detroit, he had 9 total sacks, 17 QB hits, as well as 9 TFLs and 35 tackles. You go back to 2022, 10 sacks, 24 QB hits, 1 forced fumble. 2020, 12 and a half sacks, 23 QB hits, and 4 forced fumbles. If I'm Seattle here, hear me out on this, folks. If he could do what he did in 2024, if I can get 9 extra sacks out of Za'Darius Smith with the other pass rushers you already have, and you think about this too, in all likelihood, somebody is likely going to get hurt. Knock on wood. But the truth of the matter is it is highly unlikely that you're going to get 17 games out of DeMarcus Lawrence, Uchenna Nwosu, Boye Mafe, and Derek Hall. Somebody's going to get banged up. So if I can add Smith to that mix and get 9 more sacks out of him, then you're in a really good spot for what already is looking like a pretty good defense here in Seattle. Your chance to be the GM here on Seahawks Today. Should Seattle sign Za'Darius Smith? Type S for sign, P for pass. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in and let us know what you think. Your chance to be the GM here on Seahawks Today. Up next, we go to the offensive guard spot, and this is where we find Dalton Risner, the 30-year-old offensive guard who's played for a couple of different teams. I have known Dalton for a long time. I remember covering him when he was at Kansas State, and Dalton has never been afraid to talk. He has always been very vocal, even after he was done playing football. I remember when he was at Kansas State, Bill Snyder, the legendary coach, one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, who just owned the University of Texas, by the way. After he retired and Dalton Risner was done playing football, like, just to kind of give perspective, when you're done playing football, you don't have any media obligations anymore with your respective university. Dalton Risner went out of his way to go talk to the media and give kudos to Bill Snyder. And just that kind of shows who he is. He's always been a great leader, whether it was in Denver or in Minnesota. He does things that don't show up on the stat sheet. And he's very vocal and makes his presence known. He's somebody that is a natural fit for your offensive line, and especially when you talk about with this Seahawks team of having some of these younger guys in the offensive line. You know, Charles Cross is still just entering, his fourth season at this point, right? You look at Olu or Abraham Lucas, or now a guy like what we're seeing here with Grace Abel coming in. You know, he could be a nice vocal presence of some of these younger cats that are joining the fold. Let's get to know Dalton Risner a little bit further here. Previously played for the Vikings and the Broncos. He was a Pro Football Writers Association All-Rookie Team selection in 2019. Plenty of experience he brings to the table. 87 career games played with 81 starts in the National Football League. And you look at his numbers by Pro Football Focus last year in Minnesota. Overall grade was solid, 68.1. Pass block rate is 76.1. Run block rate of 58.8. Not earth-shattering numbers. I think the pass block rate is solid. Overall grade's not bad. Run block rate's not so great. But statistically speaking, that's a lot better than anything right now Anthony Bradford and Christian Haynes can offer you. And then I take it a step further, only gave up 1 sack and no penalties called on him as well in 600-plus snaps. I love all that when it comes to Dalton Risner. What do you think? Should the Seahawks sign Dalton Risner? Sound off in the comments. Let us know why for yes, in for no. Tell me what you think in the comments section if they should sign Risner or not. Last on our list is Amari Cooper, the former Pro Bowl wide receiver who's had a fantastic career in the National Football League. And you look at Seattle's receiver room right now, you got some good possession slot guys in JSN and Cooper Kupp. I'm not high on MVS at all, and I've gone over those reasons before. I'll save that for another day, or you can go back and watch previous shows if you want to see my opinions on that. And then you got a rookie in Torrey Horton who's coming off an injury, and we just don't know what Torrey Horton is going to be just yet. If I go get Amari Cooper to be my number 3 receiver and to be my real deep threat, then this is a game changer for this Seattle Seahawks offense. This takes things to a whole nother level if you get Amari Cooper potentially involved here. Although Amari Cooper may not be the Pro Bowl receiver that he's been in the past, if I have him as my number 3, he might be the best number 3 receiver in football, folks. He went, and he's been good everywhere he's been pretty much. Good start to his career with the Raiders, goes to the Cowboys. Dallas probably traded him a bit too early. Then he goes to the Browns after the Cowboys gave up on him, and he just continued to shine. Last year in Buffalo, I don't really hold too much against him because he was a bit banged up there in Buffalo, but he wasn't bad necessarily. You look at these statistics from Amari Cooper, and I think that with Amari Cooper, you're probably not going to see him be the guy that he was last year in Cleveland and Buffalo of 547 yards. But I don't think that his days of being 1,100 yards, a 1,200-yard guy like he was in 2022 and 2023 are going to happen again. Realistically, if Amari Cooper could put up the 2021 stats. 68 catches, 865 yards, close to 13 yards of reception and 8 touchdowns. If you could get that out of him as your number 3, then all of a sudden you're cooking with bacon grease, and this can change this offense completely. And then you have some real weapons for Sam Darnold to potentially work with those receivers, and then the way that you can line them up and have guys do different things, whether it's stretching the field vertically or the short passing game. You got layers to this. On top of having good running backs and improved offensive line, now you might have a complete group potentially if Amari Cooper is a part of that fold there. I think it would be a home run if Seattle could do it. Pick one to sign. They got $28 million. They can sign at least one of these guys, maybe 2 of them potentially. Who would you like to see in Seattle? If it's Za'Darius Smith, type ZS. If it's Dalton Risner, type DR for Dalton Risner. If it's Amari Cooper, type AC for Amari Cooper. Way in the comments section, give me one that you would like to see sign between these 3 individuals. Appreciate y'all joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. We're bringing you coverage like no one else is with daily news and rumors, live shows 3 days a week, and we're going to cover training camp like no one else does here on the channel as well. Make sure to subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Never miss a moment. Lock us in. I'm Tyler Jones. Appreciate y'all being here. Have a great day, and we will see you next time here on the channel.